Hey XR peeps, we've got an XRP sitting at $1.54. If you were watching my videos, you'll know that I think a day or two ago I bought some XRP. I got in at $1.54, and it seems to be back there again. So it's a good entry point if any of you guys are interested. There's still a lot of turmoil in the market. I like that. That's exactly when you get greedy. The fear and greed index right now in the crypto market is, let's see here. See if my internet, I can do this quickly. No, I can't. Wow, it's at 14. So this is when you buy. Anything under 20 is a really good time to buy in at just about anything. But yeah, of course, do your research. But I added some XRP, and who knows, maybe I'll add a few other things. I'll just keep an eye open for some of these networks and see what's what. But in the meantime, they're still working out that Clarity Act. And I wanted to point something out, the FUD machine, right? The FUDsters, over the years that I've been in this about 7 years now. And man, you know, there's so many paid FUDsters out there, especially the ones that are anti-XRP, anti-Ripple. And it's ridiculous how hypocritical they are. Very hypocritical. And let me show you what I mean. Digital asset investor here points out the obvious. He says, where all the Vitalik is dumping on retail posts. And that's basically what happens. Ripple, since I got in, they've had something called programmatic, is it programmatic sales? No, they have an escrow account, and it puts out, I think it's about 1 billion XRP from that escrow account every month. And then what happens is whatever doesn't get sold on the open market comes back into the escrow, and they just continue that. That's token management. It's something that they did a long time ago, and that's been every month. That's what they do. But every time it happens, all of a sudden you have all these, especially Bitcoin, Ethereum maxis, going out there and putting out all that FUD that Ripple is dumping on the market. And blah, 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 you know, you can go from there. But every time the guys over at Ethereum, or you've been noticing all the people selling their Bitcoin, right? I think BlackRock just sold a bunch of its Bitcoin. There's 2 other places I just heard of it. This is in the millions. And so they sold a ton of Bitcoin, and you're not hearing, oh, so-and-so is dumping on the market. You're not hearing that language. But XRP doing something they've done every month for the 7 years that I've been in this, and from what I understand, they've been doing that longer than that. It's called dumping. Of course, anything to put them in a bad light, right? Because they're getting paid to spread that FUD. That's why you need to be able to think critically and discern what you're looking at. But Cointelegraph, which is better known as Bitcoin Telegraph, says, update, Vitalik Buterin has sold 493 ETH worth 1.16 million over the past 8 hours. So Vitalik Buterin, for those of you that don't know, he is one of the founders of the Ethereum, and so, you know, he sold some to make some money off of his ETH. Odd that he would do it at a time when the market's down. Does he know something that we don't? Maybe. Not trying to spread FUD, but you typically don't want to sell when your asset is down. You want to sell it when it's up. And the way I see it right now, it's not looking too good. I mean, Ethereum, let's see here, over the last month is down 32%. Over the last year, it's down 25%. I'm not sure that, I know this is not a good time to sell. So accumulation I get, especially of an asset that's got nothing but upside to it like XRP. But I guess Vitalik Buterin thinks differently. But for some reason, when he sells, it's not dumping on the market. When XRP just does something that it programmatically does, it's just every year, every month, it's always happened. Especially at times when it's most convenient to them. You see it all over X, you see it all over social media. Oh, Ripple is dumping on the market. Yeah, FUD. You know, it's trying to play on your emotions and get into your psyche is what they want to try to do. Get you to either sell your position or not even think about that digital asset and go on to whatever it is that suits their agenda and what they want to do. Now, if nothing else, those Epstein emails that have been put out there, aside from all the crimes that are obvious that were being conducted there, it was really sick. They dabbled a lot in digital assets, and especially Bitcoin and Ethereum, and they ran in those circles with those same people also. And so you get to see how involved in Bitcoin and Ethereum they were, to the point that I think they were involved in about 76% of the code that was being made for Bitcoin, and they had at least that much control of how Bitcoin went. They had a certain amount of influence in Ethereum also, but not Ripple, and not XRP, and not XLM. But anyhow, that's just something you got to keep in mind when you're investing. You got to be sharp, because these people are going to try to play games with your emotions, with your mindset. So when you invest, think critically. Make sure you're looking for value. This is why when I see a dip, buying XRP is not hard for me, because XRP is still the only digital asset with real legal clarity. It's the only one. They're the company that happens to have a bank charter. They got their bank charter approved. They've got a Fed Master Account application pending. They just got a money transmitter license just recently approved in the UK. One in the EU, over in Luxembourg. You guys know about that. I know they got one over in Singapore, one in Japan, one in South Korea. I know they got a ton of money transmitter licenses in the United States. Ripple's made all these billion-dollar acquisitions, huge acquisitions. They're lining themselves up nicely to do a few things. And they're not sweating the Clarity Act, because even if banks get their way and you can't provide rewards on stable coins in exchanges in the crypto world, XRP doesn't, or Ripple doesn't have to sweat it, because, well, they've got the bank license. So they can do what banks do what crypto does, do what both do. It doesn't matter. They're going to win. They're being positioned that way. So you need to understand what you've got. Of all the digital assets out there, that's the only one on real solid ground right now. So for my money, I'm going to add there right now, especially with the Fear and Greed Index at 14. So let me know what you think in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, and bookmark. We'll see you guys on the next one. Until next time, adios, amigos.